Okay, so today we are going to talk about box plots. We're going to talk about box plots. So I've given you guys this diagram that points out the lower extreme, the smallest number, lower quartile, or first quartile, the median, which is our middle number, the upper quartile, also known as the third quartile, and our upper extreme, also known as the largest number. All right, you can see they kind of all go in a row, and these are going to be our these 5 pieces of information are going to be known as our 5-number summary. From this, we're going to be able to find a lot of information, but 2 big pieces are our interquartile range, the IQR, which is going to be your third quartile minus your first quartile, as well as your range, which is going to be your upper extremes minus your lower extreme. So this makes a lot more sense when we get into the actual questions. So we're going to use the following data to find the values of the 5-number summary, the range, and the interquartile range as well. So right away, you guys could probably tell that they gave us that number set right. Oops, that number set above, right? They gave us that number set. Well, I went ahead and put those numbers in order. That's going to be your first step. All right, so go ahead and get these numbers in order. So I've gone ahead and done that. So we're just going to look at them in order. Our lower extreme, or our least, right, our smallest number, let's say smallest, it's pretty obvious it's going to be 1, right? That's the smallest number that we have. And then our upper extreme, or our largest, it's pretty obvious that it's going to be 20. Well, here's where things get a little tricky. Now we need to find the median. So you guys know the median is the middle number. So what we're going to do is we're going to start counting one off the left and one off the right at the same time. So we're going to be like left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and right. And what we're left here is one number in the middle, and that's going to be our median. Now, sometimes it's not always going to be one number. Sometimes it'll be 2. And we'll get to one where I'll show you what we do when we deal with that. All right, next we're going to do our lower quartile, also known as our first quartile. And what we're going to use is every number on the left. All right, so since we have one number as our median, right, just gave us our median explicitly, we are going to use every number to the left of that median to find our first quartile. And what the first quartile is the median of the left-hand set of data. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to count off left to right. I'm going to show you another trick that works, and you could have done this for the median as well, and that is just connecting the numbers. So we connect 1 to 6, 2 to 5, and I told you this would get brought up. Well, if I connect 3 and 4, I don't have anything left. So that's obviously not going to be the right thing to do. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle both of these, and what I need to do is take the average. Well, you guys should know that the average is going to be those 2 numbers added together divided by 2, which would give us 7/2, which 7 divided by 2 will be 3.5. When we do the upper quartile, same thing, upper quartile, also known as the third quartile, same concept. We're just going to let me point out again that because we have this 8, this 1 number for our median, we just use the numbers to the right. So again, we're going to link them together. So 9 and 20, 9 and 12, and you'll see again that we have 2 numbers in the middle. Well, you guys know again, we're going to find the average. So that's 10 plus 11 divided by 2, which will be 21 divided by 2, which will be 10.5. All right, well, let me get rid of some of this scratch work. And let's start talking about our inner quartile range. Well, our inner quartile range is going to be our third quartile minus our first quartile. All right, and we know that that's going to be this right here minus this right here. So it's 10.5 minus 3.5, which will give us just 7. All right, and last but not least, we have our range. And we know that our range is going to be our upper extreme minus our lower extreme, which will be our n numbers, I guess you could say. So 20 minus 1 is going to be 19. And that's it. Those are our, this is our 5-number summary. And once you get that, you're able to find out your IQR and your range. All right, so let's do this a couple more times. Again, I went ahead and put the numbers in order already. So remember, lower extreme is going to be our smallest number. All right, so it's going to be 10. And our upper extreme is going to be our largest, so that's 59. Remember, smallest and largest. All right, then we're going to find our median. Well, look, I'm going to do this linking thing to kind of show you that it works for median as well, which makes sense as it should. Well, and here again, we are lucky because our median is just going to be 28, just one number. So that makes it pretty easy on us. I'm going to leave those little green dots there just to show you that they were connected at some point. And remember, if we have one number for the median, right, in our set of data, then we just connect our left-hand side to find our lower quartile or our first quartile. You'll see that we have two numbers again in the middle. And we know that 15 plus 21 divided by 2, that's going to be 36, and 2 will be 18. So our lower quartile, our first quartile, is going to be 18. All right, and remember, lower quartile, first quartile is just the median of the left-hand set of data. All right, so we do the same thing for our upper quartile, which is also known as our third quartile. And what we have is 37 plus 42 over 2, which would be 79 divided by 2, which will actually be 39.5. All right, so our upper quartile is 39.5. Well, like we said, our IQR is just our third quartile minus our first quartile. So I have 39.5 minus 18. And when you simplify that, you'll get 21.5. And last but not least, our range is going to be our upper extreme minus our lower extreme, which for us is 59 minus 10. And you'll see that our range is going to be 49. Okay, and let's do another one. So again, I put these numbers in order for us. I'm gonna kind of pick up the pace here a little bit. Let's see, so we know our lower is 25, we know our upper is 95. Median is gonna be 1, 2, oh, sorry, left, right. Well, look, now we have two numbers in the middle. So we have to do the same thing. We're gonna take the average. So 55 plus 55 is in fact 110. 110 divided by 2 is, oddly enough, 55. So our median is 55. So here's where things get a little tricky, all right? So since we have two numbers together that we use to find our median, we're actually going to use them both, okay? So when we have one, when it just gives us one up here in our data, we don't use it. But when there's two, we use it. And that's going to be how we find our lower or first quartile, right? And that kind of makes it nice because you know that when you are using part of your median, you know that your lower quartile is always just going to give you one value. And again, we're going to use the other half of it to find our upper quartile or third quartile, which is just 75. All right, your inner quartile, you know, is going to be your upper quartile minus your lower quartile. So 75 minus 40 gives you 35. And your range is going to be your upper extreme minus your lower extreme, which in this case will just give you 70. Let me leave it here for a second so you guys can get that. All right, again, put these numbers in order for you. So let's go ahead and find our low extreme, it's just 5. Upper extreme, which is 25. Let's find our median. One, left, right, left, right, left, right. Well, we have two numbers here. So our median is going to be the average of those two numbers. And if you put that in Desmos, 17 plus 18 divided by 2, you'll get 17.5. All right, to find our lower quartile or our first quartile, remember, because our median has two numbers, we're going to use it. So we're just going to string these together. Oh, look, and I just lied to you. I told you in the other one that that it'd be nice when you can use part of your median because your quartiles will always just be one number. Well, that is not the case here. So 8 plus 12 is 20, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. All right, and again, because we have two numbers used to find the median, we use the right-hand side to find our upper quartile or third quartile. You'll see we have 19 and 23. And when you add them together, divide by 2, you'll get, what is that, 33, 42. Divide by 2, you'll get 21. All right. All we have to do from here, interquartile range. So that's our upper quartile or third quartile minus our lower quartile. You can see we'll get 11. Our range is our upper extreme, which is 25, minus our lower extreme, which is 5, which will equal 20. All right, so I want to move on to, I want to show you guys this again. Okay, so I put this in your daily folder. I've also put it in a test folder so you guys have it as a study guide. So make sure you guys use and look at this. So I want to note this graph, right? This box plot right here. So our lower extreme, Q1, our median, our Q3, and our upper extreme. And so we're going to be able to pull all of this information directly off of the graph. So let's start here. Look, we have our lower extreme. Then we have our quartile 1, or first quartile. Then we have our median. Then we have our third quartile. And then we have our upper extreme. All right, so all we have to do is connect these dots. So lower extreme comes down to this number. First quartile comes down to this number. Median comes down here. Third quartile comes down here. And the upper extreme are the largest number. And just find it on the number line, right? So this looks like it's 8. Your lower quartile, or your quartile, first quartile is 11. Median is going to be 17. Upper quartile is 20. And the upper extreme is going to be 28. All right, let's see. Interior quartile, remember, upper quartile or third quartile minus our lower quartile or first quartile, which will equal 9. And then our range is just going to be our upper extreme minus our lower extreme, which will be 20. All right, again, we're just matching stuff up, right? So we know that this is our lower extreme. This is our first quartile. This is our median, right? This is our third quartile. And this is my upper extreme, or largest number. All right, just match them up with the graph. All right, and I would say most of the time they're not going to expect you to guesstimate. So they'll give you the numbers. You just have to match them up. All right, so what do we have? Lower extreme, 250, right? First quartile or lower quartile, 400. Median, 500. Third quartile or upper quartile, 560. And the upper extreme or largest number is 720. All right, so it's important to make sure you guys use this diagram. All right, and then when you find your interquartile range, you know that it's going to be your upper or third quartile minus your lower or first quartile, which will give you 260. And your range is going to be your upper extreme or largest number minus your lower extreme or smallest number, which I believe will give you 470. All right, another graphing one. The following box plot represents test scores in Mr. White's first period science class. So we don't even really need to read all of that, right? So I know that my lower extreme is going to be 60. I know that my lower quartile or first quartile is 75. My median is going to be 80. My upper quartile is 90. And my upper extreme, oh, and here we go. I said that you wouldn't have to really estimate, but I mean, you're really not, because it's stopping right on that line, on that point, which is 97.5. So the interior quartile here is your third quartile minus your first quartile, which is 90 minus 75 gives us 15. And then for your range, we're going to have your upper extreme or the largest number minus your lower extreme or the smallest number, and we'll just be left with 37.5. All right, so then you'll have to draw these. All right. So again, I put the numbers in order. What does this one say? It just gives it to us, and it says use the data to construct a box plot. Well, I put the numbers in order. So we know that our lower extreme is 2. I'm going to go ahead and put a dot right above the 2. We know that our upper extreme is 13. I'm going to put a dot right at the 13. All right, now let's figure out what our median is. So left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And the median is just going to be 8. All right, for our lower quartiles, remember, since the median is one number, we don't use it. We're just going to group them together. 3 plus 5 divided by 2 is 4. So 9 and 13 match up, but 12 plus 12 is 24 divided by 2 is just going to leave you with 12. And let me go ahead and start plotting these points as well. So I know that my lower quartile or first quartile is 4, and my upper quartile is 12. And then from here, you're just going to make a box plot. All right. So we're going to have a line that connects our lower extreme to our lower quartile. Then we create a box that's going to go around our median and connect with our upper quartile. All right. And then we're going to connect our upper quartile to our upper extreme. And our median just gets a line down through it. And that's it. So we'll get a couple other questions, like what is the interior quartile range? Well, we know that we have 12 and 4. So 12 minus 4. So our interior quartile range is 8. What is the median? What is the median amount of times? Right, the median amount of times is just 8, because that's what our median is. So you'll be able to answer all of these questions. Now here's a tricky one. This says, what percentage of students fell between tying their shoes 2 to 8 times? So we're going to look here at 2. Let me get a different color. We're going to look right here at 2, and we're going to come here to 8. Well, in the diagram that I keep telling you, make sure you use, you notice that this area between your lower extreme and your first quartile is 25%. The area between your first quartile and your median is 25%. The area between your median and your third quartile is 25%. And the area between your third quartile and your upper extreme is 25%. So this will trip people up, because they'll be like, oh, they don't look like they're equal. But remember, this is going to be 25%. And this whole space is 25%. So the percentage of students who fell between tying their shoe from 2 to 8 times is actually 50%. You guys will see a lot more of that tomorrow. All right, so let's draw another box plot. I'm going to kind of go quickly through this one because I'm running out of time on my end. So let's see. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. left, right, and we have 2 left. So that's going to be 77.5. We know that there's 2, so we can use them. So I'm going to go left, right, left, right, 60. Remember, I'm using the other one on the right, and that's going to be 95. And all I need to do is plot these points. So I plot one at 40, I plot one at 60, I plot one roughly around 77.5, I one at 95, one at 100. And just connect. Remember, a line from your lower extreme to your first quartile, a box connecting your 2 quartiles, a line from your third quartile to your upper extreme, and then a line down your median. So what's your interior quartile range? Well, we know that it's going to be 95 and 60. So 95 minus 60 is 30. What percentage of students fell between 77.5, which we know is going to be here, and 100%, which is here? Well, look, we have this 25% and we have this 25%. So again, it's going to be 50%. What percent of students fell between 40 and 95%? So now we're starting way down here and we're going to 95%. So we're looking for what percentage of students fell in here. Remember, we have 25%, 25%. Each piece is worth 25%. All right, so 25 plus 25 plus 25 is going to be 75%. And how many students scored 60% or lower? All right, let's get rid of some stuff here. 60% or lower. So we're just starting here at 60, and we're going down to 40 because that's as low as we can go. And we'll see that it's just one section, so that is 25%. All right, last but not least. So I have already put this data in order for us. And what I want to look at is, let's just start off with our lower extreme, right, which is 50. So let's see, do all of these start off at 50? 50, 50. So far they do. All right, so let's go with our upper extreme, which is 71. Do they all end at 71? And unfortunately for us, it looks like they do. All right, well, let's find our median. Let's find our median. So we go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and our median is 64.5. Let's see, do they all start at 6? Do all the medians at 64.5? Well, A looks good. B is not out of the question now. C comes down to 65. That's out of the question. And D still looks like it could be good. So we still have 2 answers. So let's look for our lower quartile. Remember, because we have one number for our median, we're not going to use it. Left, right, and it looks like our lower quartile is 60. So it looks like A is our answer. And let's just double check. Definitely is. Just for the practice, let's do our upper quartile, left, right, which is 71. And you can see that our upper quartile is in fact 71. So if you have any questions, ask your teacher. Don't forget you have a test on Friday, and enjoy the rest of your day.